Special day today, guys. Today, we're gonna do this. Well, actually, it's not just America, right? It's the whole world. We're on YouTube here. But that's what the shirt says, so I'm going with it. And so we're picking up where we left off with the part 1 of this series, which was the first 30 days of your shredder workout. And there we had some exercises that just got you going with alternate picking and some basic arpeggios. And we talked a little bit about how you can use these techniques everywhere, and that's what I'm going to keep doing here and keep talking about is giving you things that you practice and get good at that are exercises but are also applicable musically and you can use in different types of passages, so you're building a skill set that is applicable everywhere and not just one riff that you can use in one place. So that said, I've got 3 of these exercises like I did last time for your current 30 days, this next part 2 30-day workout. And I'll put tabs up and we'll go over the exercises themselves. Let's get started. All right, so I'm plugged in here, this time to my Kemper, and I've got a sound dialed in, good distorted one, because any shredder's got to play with some distortion here. And actually, I should mention, a lot of times when I practice this stuff, I actually practice it unplugged, because you can get more of a real crisp kind of feel and you're not hiding anything in the distortion. But for the purposes of the lesson, we're dialed into a sound here. Now, this first exercise in your 30-day workout part 2 builds upon the alternate picking thing that we were doing before, which was just the down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And we talked about starting it with an upstroke and starting it with a downstroke, so you're good all the way through. But the way we're building this one actually continues to give you the advantage of always picking in the direction of the next string. So it's going to always be a downstroke towards the next string, and we start with the downstroke here. And we're staying in the G major scale with all of this and the work that we're doing. So I'll pull up the tab here below and we'll talk about this slowly first. All right, so we start with the basic first 3 notes per string, G major scale, and it's a down, up, down. And now when we get to the next string, it starts with an upstroke, and we have up, down, up. And to get the pattern reversed back on itself, so we're picking down again, we just play that note again, play that 3 notes again. And now our hand is going the right way. So we have down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And we continue this trend all the way up to the top, where it's playing the 3 notes on the string twice. And you'd think it wouldn't be too musical, maybe even usable, but in the context of a solo, you can do like a nice little type of build using this 6 notes per string, if you will, technique, where you're playing that little kind of mini build into the next piece. It works very well. So again, we're just going to play it to a click as always and build the click as you build speed. So that's number 1. Let's move on to number 2. For the second exercise, we're going to talk about doing something horizontally where you play through the modes going up and down the neck on a couple of strings. This is a good thing to get used to doing. I have a Rut Buster lesson on this where I talk about playing horizontally, and I'll link it here, whatever. I forget which side it pops up on. And I want to get you thinking about your modes a couple strings at a time and moving up and down. So this is for that, and also for building up some dexterity, 2 strings at a time in a kind of staccato pattern.
Hey Carter, up your nose with rubber hose.
And that you can build up that sounds really cool and almost sounds like chicken picking, even though it's not. So let's take a look at that. I'll run the tabs and we'll talk about the scale here. Okay, we start this on the 5th fret of the E string, and it's just 1 note on the string, and the pattern is going to continue that way with an upstroke, and then it's a downstroke 8 on the B string, upstroke, everything's alternate now, 7, 5, 7, 8. And I usually play this muted. And I just play one of those. And when I come back up, instead of going back to the E, or excuse me, to the E string 5th fret, back to the A, I go up to the next position. Shift up to there, and now it's the same thing. This is the top of the Dorian position now. 7, 10, 8, 7, 8, 10. And it's that same logic. It's a note, and then the 3 notes played down and up again. It's the next position. So played quickly with some muting on it, it has a really cool building kind of phrase to it. And getting that kind of thing down builds good two-string dexterity and the ability to shift positions, which is going to come in very handy as you go. And it starts introducing you to some cross-picking riffs, which leads us to the third exercise. Okay, this third lick is probably the most musical of the things that we're talking about here. And it's the least quick or the least fast that we're going to play a riff, but it's going to build up your skills cross-picking and string skipping, and has all kinds of musical applications, whether it be slowed down into rhythm parts or playing cool lead parts. Let's look at it here. It's staying in the key of G major / E minor, and we start with an upstroke on the 7th fret of the B string, which is the F sharp, and then we're going to play 2 notes. It'll be the E note on the G string. And I'm actually picking in the wrong direction to get to the next string. So we are doing something which goes back to the first lesson, where you have to get used to switching back to a string when you've picked away from it. So you've got 7, 9, 9, F sharp, E, E, and then you go up to the next note, G, the 8th fret. Now notice when I went to that G, it started with a downstroke this time. I'm maintaining alternate picking all the way through this. So it's up, down, down. So this time I am picking in the correct direction of the next string, because it's an odd number. It's in 3s. It keeps oscillating back and forth. So it's 7, 9, 9, 8, 9, 9, 10, 9, 9. And then I have to skip a string and grab the note B on the E string. And then it's just a quick 1-note cross pick build down. So it's the A. In this instance, I'm picking in the correct direction each time. It's up, down, up, down. So I'm always picking towards the next string. So one last time here. It's up, down, 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 up, down. And then I do the whole thing again, but this time instead of starting on the 7th, I start on the 8th fret. So I'm kind of like building my way up through the pattern. So now it's 8, 9, 9, 10, 9, 9, 7, 9, 9, 8, 9, 9. So when we put the whole thing together, it's got a climbing kind of quality. This will build some real strong cross-picking skills that you can get all kinds of use out of, as I was saying, just in rhythm like. That kind of stuff could become a rhythm part to a song, simple lead stuff. There is your second 30-day shredder workout. These are all things that build skills that become usable in various different ways, which is what is really important with these kind of workouts, that you are building techniques that are applicable everywhere into all kinds of different licks. I hope you got a lot out of this, guys, and it's helping you build the skills you want to build. If you have any questions or comments or any other ideas for stuff that works really well for you that you want to share with people, please leave it in the comments below. And until next time, keep making great music. Hey friends, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. It makes the whole world better.